Hello, Jefferson Eagles. This week we are talking about something you've heard about way too much, but I'm going to give you kind of more of a visual at the end of what I'm talking about. We're talking about germs today. Now, germs are part of pretty much everything. You've seen germs everywhere, you've heard the word everywhere. So, we're going to kind of go over the meaning of it and kind of some basic information as to why your teachers and your families are all encouraging you to wash your hands, wear your mask to be safe. So, let's go over it. Germs. Let's see here. Our bodies are pretty amazing. Day after day, they work hard digesting food, pumping blood and oxygen, and sending signals to our brains. To our brains can tell our bodies to breathe. So our body's doing a lot of good things, but there's a group of tiny little guys that make our bodies sick. Those are called germs. Some people may think that germs are bugs or cooties or gross stuff like that. Germs are actually tiny organisms, living things that cause a disease. Germs are so small and sneaky that they creep into our bodies without being noticed. In fact, germs are so tiny that you need a microscope to see them. When they get into the bodies, we don't know what they'll do to us or what symptoms we might have. So, what types of germs are there? The first, well, let's go over this. There are four major types. The first is bacteria. Bacteria are tiny, one-celled creatures that get nutrients, so they get their food from environments in order to live. In some cases, that environment is you. Bacteria can reproduce outside of the body or within the body. Some infections that bacteria can cause are ear infections, sore throats like tonsillitis or strep throat. Mr. Briggs doesn't have his tonsils because he had strep throat so many times growing up. They cut it out. And pneumonia. But not all bacteria are bad. Some bacteria are good for us. They help break down things in our body. They help our intestines and help us break down nutrients after we eat and get rid of what we don't need. Some bacteria are used by scientists and labs to produce medicines or even vaccines. Our second type of germ is a virus. Need to be inside a living cell to grow or produce. Most viruses can't survive very long if they're not inside something living, like a plant, an animal, or you. Whatever a virus lives inside of its host, that's a host is where the virus lives. So the virus lives inside of a host. So if the virus is inside of you are the host. When viruses get inside people's bodies, they can spread and make people sick. Viruses cause chickenpox. I've had that. Measles. We got shots for those. We got vaccines for those. Flu. But everyone's had the flu. And many other diseases. Because some viruses can live for a short time on something like a doorknob or a countertop, be sure to wash your hands. The next one is fungi. Fungi are multi-celled, which means made of many different types of cells, plant-like organisms. Unlike other plants, fungi cannot make their own food from soil, water, and air. Instead, fungi get their nutrition, so they get their food from plants, people, and animals. They live in damp, warm places, and many fungi are not dangerous in healthy people. An example of something caused by fungi is something called athlete's foot. When your foot is just really wet, gross, it hasn't been aired out, so that's one of those things that gets really itchy, and you got to put a lot of powder on it, and it's not good. Our fourth one is protozoa are one-celled organisms that love moisture and often spread diseases through water. Some protozoa cause intestinal infections that lead to nausea, belly pain, and even diarrhea. So what do germs do? Well, let's find out. Once germs invade your body, they snuggle. They like to be there as long as possible. They're living, remember? They want to live as well, like you. They gobble up nutrients and energy and produce toxins, which are proteins that act like poisons. These toxins can cause symptoms of common infections like fevers, sniffles, rashes, coughing, vomiting, and diarrhea. So that's an early sign that you might be getting sick. You might have some bacteria. You might have a virus inside of you. Toxins are growing and not breaking down. So how do doctors figure out what germs are doing? They take a look. By looking at samples of blood, urine, and other types of fluids through microscopes, or sending these samples to a lab, doctors can tell which germs are living in your body and how they are making you sick. How can you protect yourself? Well, let's go over it. Most germs are spread through the air in sneezes, cough, or even breathing. Germs can also spread through sweat, saliva, and blood. Some pass from person to person by touching something that is contaminated, like shaking hands. Then What's the way to fix that? Washing our hands, wearing our mask. Remember that germs fear soap and water. Washing your hands well and often is the best way to beat these tiny little guys. Wash your hands every time you cough, sneeze, before you eat, after you use the bathroom, touch animals and plants. The best way to do it, warm water, soap on your hands, start washing, and sing happy birthday to yourself. I'm not going to sing. I'm not the music teacher. It's bad. However, you can. Cover your mouth and nose when you're coughing. Do the vampire cough like this, so you cough inside. Use tissues to blow your nose. Some places that you don't think about that are full of germs. Backpacks, lunch boxes, because where's your backpack go? On the ground, on the bus, on the ground, in the car. Not very clean. You don't really clean your backpack and spray it down. Pet toys and food bowls. If you're playing with your dog, tug of war. There's germs all over that. Not really thinking about that, are you? Sports equipments. So anytime you're playing sports or anything like that, we got to keep cleaning those up. That's why we always try to wash our hands after we play sports. Hand sanitizer. Your tablet, your cell phone. When was the last time you sprayed down your phone, your tablet? Might be something to think about. And for all of you guys, the car seat. Car seat. You don't spray that down very often. You don't clean that. They're just full of different types of germs in there. So what are we going to do right now? I'm going to show you something here. I'm going to bend the screen down, and I'm going to show you this bottle or this container of water. This is water. Now, what I'm going to do is, this is water. I have some pepper here. The pepper is going to act as a germ. So I'm putting the germs in the water. Now we have tons of germs in the water. Germs everywhere. Now, what happens when we wash our hands? So Mr. Briggs is going to put some soap on his finger. Or maybe. Now I have soap all over my finger. I'm going to rub it around my finger. Rub it around. So now my finger is covered in soap. You guys see that? Now watch what happens when I put it in the water. Everything shot away. If you can see, all of the pepper is now way on the outside, and all of the clean water is right here in the center. So what does that mean? Germs don't like soap. Warm water, soap. Germs are saying, they're going away. So what do you need to do? Wash your hands, warm water, soap. Do it all the time. Hand sanitizer, all the time. This is our health video, week 16, germs. If you want more information on our exit slip, there is a germs activities to do at home right there. If you click on that or copy and paste that, there are tons of activities that you can do with your family at home to learn about how to get rid of germs and how to clean up just a little bit. So thank you guys so much. I will see you all soon.